Hello, my name is Altamirano. I'm about to present about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript concepts. Alright, so the concepts to be shown during the presentation is going to be HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and the different applications that each single one of these code languages have in web pages. So also I'm going to use web page that I did on my own right here later in the video, in order to show you like live on how the implementations on HTML, CSS, and JavaScript can affect the code and can affect the website as well. Alright, so first of all, what is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, which is the standard markup language used for creating web pages, and is what you're gonna see in almost all of the internet. Like every single page is gonna be made of those. It's gonna be made in base of HTML. It provides the structure for web content and is essential for displaying text, images, links, and other multimedia elements in a web browser. It achieves this by using tags in this code like h1, p, and some other tags that embody other important aspects of web design like script and style. So these two tags right here are gonna represent like different types of tags in order to represent, like, for example, this could be your first header in let's say in a document. This is gonna be your first header, and there's also h2, h3, and so on and so forth in order to represent multiple headers. And p, it just stands for paragraph. So every time that you see this tag, it's gonna just represent like a paragraph in the web page. Now, for these tags, like script and style, these tags are used in order to make like a script in JavaScript language inside HTML, and style is in order to do style code inside HTML by using CSS. HTML is a crucial component of web development, serving as the backbone for creating and structuring content on the internet. And yep, these are two images. This image kind of embodies what CSS is gonna look like, and this one kind of embodies of how, for the most part, HTML is gonna look like. Now for CSS. CSS, which stands for Cascading Style Sheets, is a style sheet language used to describe the presentation and layout of a document written in a markup language like HTML. It plays a crucial role in web development by allowing developers to control the visual appearance of web pages. CSS has its own syntax, and these are some of the syntax samples. It's not exactly as this. Like you need, like, for example, lines here in order to make it a CSS syntax, but these are the most commonly used ones, and here there's a brief explanation of what each syntax does in the document. So, for example, color is going to specify the foreground color of text within an element, and it also accepts various color formats. Text align is going to align the text either by horizontal or vertical alignment between a block element. Background color is going to set the background color of an element, and similar to the color property, it can set various color formats. And margin is going to create a space around the elements outside of any defined borders. So it's going to make like spaces in, like, say, top, bottom, right, left, kind of like how a margin works. And also we're gonna see JavaScript. And JavaScript is a scripting language that adds functions to web pages, like manipulating browser windows. It is used to make web pages more interactive and dynamic. It also has some key properties, like, for example, functions in JavaScript, which are also objects, meaning that they can have properties and methods. This allows you to assign additional data to functions that have in their functionality, and this is kind of like an image of how JavaScript will look in general. This is just a very, very small example. Also, JavaScript uses a uses a prototype-based inheritance model Each object has an internal link to another object called this prototype. This allows for property and method inheritance, enabling objects to share functionality. So JavaScript is going to behave kind of like programming language, but inside the website. So that's why it has these two properties. All right. Now for the sample, in order to see how this web page works, I made one based around one of my favorite themes of all time, and I'll show you how it works. So as you can see, the web page comes from my own server right here. I mean, it's not a server, but it comes from here. And this is how you're gonna see how the web page was made. So it's gonna start with this header right here, which is gonna define that everything over here is gonna be inside the HTML, header. And you'll see the various examples that I shown in the presentation being used right here. For example, you have paragraphs. This is a paragraph tag. You're gonna see the use of headers. The other headers right here, like h1. This, in fact, can be also called h2, but I just named it h1 in order to apply the same style for both of those. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You'll see that inside paragraph tags, you'll see paragraphs defining, saying what I want to say inside of those. And also you'll see other headers that also work right here. For example, canvas headers, which is gonna create little canvases where you can draw using JavaScript code. Also, it's gonna create so yeah, it's for JavaScript mostly. Also, you'll see image headers, which is gonna be the spaces where the image is gonna be. So, for example, this is gonna be the image for the 2019 Team Liquid roster. This image is in raster, so this is kind of like your normal image that you will see on the internet. But there's also another type of image. As you can see, this is kind of different than the image right on the top. Not because it's not the same theme, not only because of that, but because it's another type of image, which is the vector image. Also, you'll see right here that I have this image like in PNG, like a normal image, but here's the vector image, which is a bunch of bits. So yeah, it's very different from what a normal image is. Alright, so in addition to that, we also have the final project.css, which is gonna be my style sheet for the HTML. I can change whatever I want over here, and it's gonna affect the document over there. For example, let's say that I don't want this background color to be light blue, and I want it to be red. If I update it, it's gonna become red. And you can put whatever color that you want, and it automatically is gonna update to that same color that you want to make it on. But let's just put it back to light blue because I like light blue the most. There you go. Alright, and how this works while the style sheet is like in another document outside the HTML is that you're gonna reference it right here. So it's gonna have a name called style sheet with the reference link being this one, which is gonna reference the same link that is gonna be right here because they have the same name. Now, because we also watched the use of JavaScript, we also have some script right here. As you can see, I'm using the script tag in order to portray my JavaScript code inside the tag. And this code is gonna do multiple things. For example, it's gonna use my canvas property that we saw before at the top in order to portray my name, which is Altamirano. And as you can see, it's gonna be portrayed right here in this canvas header right here. And as you can see, my name is not portrayed right here, but rather it is made by the code, by the JavaScript code that is presented right here. Now, there's also code in order to show current date and type, and yeah, and time, which is gonna be also represented by the header right here. It's gonna be this one, which is called datetime. And this is just a little piece of code which updates every second in order to show you which time is now. And as you can see, the code kind of updates every second, so it is counting the seconds of the current time that you are on. Also, we also have the use of the canvas imagery that you saw right here, which is gonna show you how to make the drawings inside the canvas. Like for example, this part of the code right here. Oh, this one first is gonna be the one for my name, so the one right here. And this one over here is gonna make both a circle, which you can see right here, and also a little line from the left to the right, which you can see also right here. And yeah, that's pretty much how HTML works, and that's what we covered in while we were doing our exercises in class. And yeah, thank you for seeing this presentation.